Welcome to Childhood Trash, a dumpster dive into our childhood nostalgia where we re-examine some of the most influential media from our youth in order to answer the question, tragic or nostalgic? I'm your host, Maggie Keating, joined by my co-host,
Pia LaPlaca.
Hey, PM.
Hi, Maggie.
So we're so back.
We're so back.
We're doing our favorite thing today.
House of Anubis.
Episodes 21 through 26.
Of season 2.
Contrary to our belief from about 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
We're ready.
I'm ready.
I'm pretty much ready. I mean,
I am so excited.
we're pros at this point.
Pros at recapping House of Anubis?
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think also, we're at such a critical point in the season.
We are.
And we're at a point where, I don't remember everything. And so I'm, so
This is
surprised all the time.
Okay, I want to ask you what your general thoughts are on this group of episodes.
I loved it. I was gooped and gagged. I was
this was good.
I was so excited. The tension was great.
The tension was great.
But they were also giving me just enough that I was I was intrigued. And
I will say that the following 3 episodes after this, I remember, and I don't love them.
Okay.
Because of how this group ends, it just gets really frustrating.
Mm.
But that's okay because we're not talking about those today.
No, we're not.
So
should we start?
We can just start
with episode 21.
Episode 21, House of Envy and House of Names.
Victor is translating the Book of Isis, but it is not as easy as he hoped.
Eddie tries to get Patricia to admit that she likes him. Gasp. And Fabian and Joy go to a movie. Double gasp. Nina is hurt by that. You know how she is.
I love Nina. Oh my god. Nina in this group of episodes is so toxic. She is so funny.
Oh god, she's the worst.
She's so crazy.
She decides to force all the rest of the Sabunos to go down to the tunnel to complete the task without Fabian.
It's crazy of her, and I love
Alfie's life is put in danger. And then...
Oh, that's true.
Eddie, this is there's so much that happens. Oh my god.
So much happens in each of these episodes.
Yeah. Eddie and Patricia are misbehaving. Jerome wants to win back the Frobisher shield through a ping pong tournament. And Mara is super sleuthing on Vera.
And finds out that everything that Vera said was a lie.
Yeah. And we pass the spiderweb task. So we can just do... That's the general overview.
What do you want to talk about from this episode first? Eddie trying to get Patricia.
It's so good.
But it's painful to watch.
I know because she just keeps shutting him down.
Yeah, and he's like, you literally have said, because it's in this episode that he admits that he overheard her say that she liked him.
Yeah.
And she just completely shuts down. She's just like, I did not say that. That's a lie. You never heard that. That was not me.
She's I don't know. She's gaslighting it's nobody's business.
So true.
She really
pro gaslighter.
Yeah, and we love her for that. Honestly,
But I feel so bad for Eddie. The more I was watching this, not that I wasn't already Team Eddie, but I feel like Homie has no friends.
Homie's dad is the principal, which comes in a later episode.
And his dad sucks also. He's a bad dad.
He's a bad dad, and clearly he also has a bad mom.
Yeah. So, what is...
He's got nothing going for him except Patricia.
I want the, Eddie spinoff of, what the heck is he doing while all the Sabunas are, completely
I don't know. Maybe if I DM'd Berkeley Duffield and he responded, we could write that for him.
Okay. That's what I think of. Every time I see Berkeley Duffield in the credits, I go, he follows Maggie on Instagram. So then Joy asks Fabian to a movie, and she's like, well, do it as a friend. We used to go to movies, we're friends, whatever. Yeah. And he's like, sure, I'll pick the movie, a 3-hour movie about
documentary on Egypt. And it's so funny. I literally love this part because he's eating his popcorn.
He's so into it.
And then Joy tries to do the arm move, and then she falls because he's leaning forward so much. Oh my god, it's so funny. I would also like to comment on the Eddie stuff from earlier because the lights turned off and we got distracted.
Oh, sure.
But I was gonna say that even though he's a really new character, they develop him, they give him so much backstory that's very meaningful.
As we get into the later episodes, I care so much about Eddie.
I care so much about Eddie.
Almost more than,
he's
main cast.
He's kind of a victim a little.
He is!
He's kind of a victim.
He is!
Oh god, I just love him so much. They really did a good job with his character.
But so, Nina finds out that Fabian is going on this date with Joy, and she's so funny. She's so funny.
You're not chicken. Wait, did Eddie say that? He was like, you're not chicken, are you? To Patricia.
He said that a lot.
And then, she she finally agrees to go down to the tunnels with all of them. It's like a whole thing. Nina is so petty.
She is, and I love it. No, you know what? I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
I would do the same.
I think
she's so mean. Oh my god.
I can tell, yeah. I can tell, like, how this is not how you should, like, conduct yourself in a relationship. Like, obviously, if you're interested in someone, you should let them, like, pursue their whatever they want to do. But, like, it is so funny. Like, it is so entertaining to have this girl be like, "You're going out with Joy? It sounds like you really wanted to do that, Fabian." Like, why was such a good impression?
Wow.
Yeah, she's just like crossing her arms, just like, so, oh my god.
The face she makes is crazy.
Yeah.
She literally gets the craziest evil face ever. She's like, she's pouting as, it's so funny. So as like retaliation, she's like, we're gonna finish the tunnel task without her.
Fabian.
And as a reminder, the current tunnel task is the spider web.
Yeah.
The like when you're like a spy and you're going through the lasers, it's that, but like webs dipped in poison, etc.
Yeah, and so they go down and do it without Fabian, and then Alfie touches one of
the yellow one.
Okay, the yellow one. He starts like hallucinating. The camera work here goes crazy.
Oh my god, the editing is so funny. He's like, I literally love it.
It's just like layers upon layers of different like different shots, and he's like freaking out. And of course, Fabian to the rescue. Fabian comes down the tunnel
because he comes back from the day and finds that all the Sabunas are gone. This part is really interesting. Why did Amber and Nina just freeze?
Why did they do nothing?
While Alfie was like,
I don't know why they did nothing. I think that they like, and maybe they didn't want to like make it worse.
Yeah.
By like getting involved.
Patricia's whiny voice, she's like, come on guys, like hurry, he's dying, like she's like screaming at them and nothing happens. Then Fabian comes running in and saves
this is why we have Fabian.
This is why we have Fabian. He's kind of, oh god, he's just that character that's like, he comes in and everything. He's like Fred from Scooby-Doo. He's just like Fred. He just pulls it off.
Yeah.
They decide to stop trying the puzzle task or the spider task. And they go back up and they're like, oops, my bad. Like, sorry, Alfie.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then Nina has a talk with Fabian and she's like, I'll never do that again. And we're like, yeah, you will.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you will.
Like, 100%.
If there's one thing girl will do, it is she will take matters into her own hands, whether it's good or not. Like,
she will. And she has proven it time after time again.
And it's going to keep happening. So it
happens at least twice in this group of episodes.
So,
like, oh well. She's crazy like that.
But back to Patricia and Eddie. They're doing this little game.
Oh, in the next half of this episode.
Yeah, in the next half of this episode.
They're like pranking. I don't know.
They're having a prank off on Mr. Sweet.
For like what?
For no reason.
I felt like we started developing their like romance and relationship and stuff, and then they just like completely stopped it, and they're like, we're gonna have a prank war, and it's like, what? I didn't love it.
I know, it's like Patricia's trying to like out like bad guy.
Yeah,
it's
like also
weird.
Since when is Patricia like a bad like girl, like bad reputation person? Like she's never been like a prankster. She's not the jokester. That's like Alfie.
That's Eddie and Jerome and Alfie.
Yeah.
Another thing, why aren't Jerome and Eddie best friends?
No, we've said this before. They need to be best friends. They have like,
they're like the
they both have daddy issues.
Yeah.
Like they're like quirky little jokesters.
They totally fumbled the bag on that one because Jerome and Eddie as like a little power team would have been amazing.
Yeah.
They should have been best friends.
I know.
Jerome was just too focused on Mara. Womp womp.
And like his dad.
Womp womp. Whatever.
Who cares?
Yeah. So Patricia gets detention for her prank.
And Eddie doesn't get shit.
He gets a stern talking to.
He does. And Patricia's like, what's the deal? Well, she's not suspicious. She's just like, you're the teacher's pet. Like, no one can touch you. Like, whatever.
She fills his locker with dog treats. It's so funny. And they spill out and he's like, what are these for? And she's like, you're the teacher's pet, aren't you? And that stupid voice that she makes. Anyway.
We love Patricia.
Yeah.
Alfie and Jerome have learned that the shield, the Frobisher shield,
it's missing.
Is missing, but
the scene is
it is like a trophy at this point for a ping pong champion.
Yes.
And so it's at this other school.
And they have to win it back in a ping pong tournament.
Do you like ping pong?
I'm not very good at ping pong. It's okay though.
I love ping pong.
Really?
Like, I get really into it.
It's, like, fine. I don't know. I'm not, like, a big, like, games, you know, those kinds of games like table tennis, and then like.
Are you saying you didn't love when we played air hockey?
Like, it's fun.
Oh my God,
it's
the truth
literally
comes
fun
out.
for
Whoa.
like 10 minutes for me, and then I'm like, okay. I don't know why. It's air hockey, it's foosball. I'm just like, okay,
I don't like foosball.
yeah, it's pool, all of that stuff. I'm like, you know how it feels when your friends are like explaining a card game to you, and you're like, this is the worst ever? Like, my brain is melting. That's how I feel. I feel so stupid when I play them. Like, I'm just not good at them. I don't know. Anyway.
That's fair. I love ping pong, so I was really living my best life in this. I also just think it's so silly goofy. Like, I love that they have to win.
Ping pong
like, of
tournament.
course.
Yeah,
like,
what else?
They had Donkey Day. Like, what else could they do? You know, like.
So we ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
Someone say
They're
the
gonna
first
play
thing that
ping pong.
comes to your mind. Like, I'm almost certain that's how that episode was written.
Yes.
Guys, somebody say the first thing in your head.
Donkey.
But this scene where they find out about the Frobisher shield being missing is so funny because they're like going to put the gem where it belongs in the shield, and they open the like cabinet with the trophies and the sports. You know, like when you're in high school, they have that. And they're like, there's nothing in here, and there is literally nothing. There's no trophies at all. And Mr. Sweet's like, if we won back the Frobisher shield, it would restore our school's great reputation.
This bitch is so obsessed with this ping pong tournament. Like, Mr. Sweet is like he's like, everything is riding on this ping pong tournament. And they have played ping pong for 0 days. Like, they don't know what they're doing.
I think it's implied that Sweet was involved in what happened to the gem.
But what happened?
We never find out. It's something with how it ended up in a suit of armor. I don't know. And like how Jerome's dad was involved, I don't know. But I feel like it's implied that the two of them were friends because they went to school together.
Yeah,
we learned that in like an episode.
I just think like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like I don't care. I don't really care. I love the ping pong. I think it's fun. But like I don't care about the shield. I don't care about the gem. I don't care about Jerome's daddy issues. Like I just like I kind of forgot about it, and I don't care.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't really care either. But in the previous group of episodes, we talked about Mara being set on a task by Mrs. Daphne to
Mrs. Daphne.
Mrs. Dabney? No,
Miss Andrews. Her first name's Daphne.
Mrs. Daphne.
You were close.
Mrs. Dabney is Good Luck Charlie.
Good Luck Charlie. Get excited for our next episode.
Mrs. Andrews tells her that she wants her to snoop on Vera.
Which I love.
I love that.
I love Mara snooping. I actually love it so much.
Oh my god,
this entire group of episodes is so good. Like, I have never been more invested in Mara as a character. I'm obsessed.
We're finally getting somewhere with her.
So she goes to like one of her previous employers of Vera's, and she's like, oh, like, so where's this guy? Like, Vera said she like worked for him, and he's like, that guy's been dead for 20 years. It's like, dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. And then like there's like a picture that like she's not in, and like she finds all these clues and stuff, and she writes a scathing profile
of Vera, and it's crazy. But nothing happens with that till the next episode.
Nope.
But before we end, Sabuna goes down to pass the web test.
Yes.
Because they have that giant spider now. And the giant spider has all the little spider babies inside. So they go and they
hang the little spiders on little hooks.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, all the
door opens.
The door opens, and then it is at this point that Nina goes, "See ya!"
She fucking runs away. Part 2 of Nina being out of control
in the same episode.
Yeah. And it's bizarre. She literally runs into the tunnel because she realizes that the door is closing. What if they never figured it out? Like,
what if she was stuck in there
forever and ever? Very
POV,
possible.
you're stuck in a tunnel.
And she's such a baby. I can't.
So she runs, and it's kind of cute because Fabian's like,
Nina, no! And he's banging. He's like Maddie in that episode of Euphoria.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
And that's the end of that episode.
On to House of Evidence and House of Genius, which is 22. So we pick up, and it's like the cliffhanger is that Nina's in there, and she starts seeing this like glowing-eyed monster.
And she's
so dumb.
It's
so not real.
She's like, it's alive! Like, she's going crazy.
In here. And the Sabunas figure out that they have to.
That was a good impression.
Thank you. They have to put the spider like in a different place, like the big spider, to
they have to
the
put
door
it
open.
In the. Wouldn't you guess? The spider on the wall, the spider indent in the wall is where you have to put the spider.
Genius.
So
the writing is so good. But
you're like, this is my favorite task.
Actually, my favorite task is
The next one?
not the next one, but the one after.
Oh my god. How many more tasks are there?
3,
Oh.
I think.
So
at
yours
least.
is the second to last.
The second to last task.
Okay. So they come upon this new room once they get out Nina. And there's this, like, what is it? It's like the god of medicine or something.
Yeah, it's something about chemicals and chemistry.
Yeah.
And they have, I actually really like this task as well, with all of the, like, clues to figure out what, like, chemicals they have to add to the...
Yeah. So there's all these,
bottle.
like, chemical bottles hanging about, and then there's, like, clues on the wall, like these little riddles. And they have to pour 6 different chemicals together to go into this little thing, and then it runs to a door and opens the door.
Yeah. And the clues are really cool. They're like the sweet scent of morning, but morning spelled like MOURNING.
Which is cinnamon.
Cinnamon. And then the taste of the great bitter lake, which is salt. What else?
Something
One is
about
myrtle.
wedding flowers.
Myrtle oil.
That's wedding flowers.
Yeah, wedding flowers. It's cute. That's like a fun little thinky. I like the thinky tasks.
The thinky tasks.
The thinky tasks are really fun instead of just the,
I like anytime they get to practice.
Yes, anytime they get to
Outside.
practice, you're gonna eat up the ending. Do you remember the ending?
No.
Like the last task? You don't remember the last task?
Everything is new information to me right
Okay,
now.
the last task is definitely the best.
I'm remembering it as I go, but I don't remember everything.
Okay. Season 2 is so fire.
There's
Oh my
so
God.
much to it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more.
It's so good.
Okay, so meanwhile,
Oh,
Victor realizes that the latest task is one he can solve himself because he is a Mr.
an
Alchemist.
And he basically does it like the first time he reads the clues.
No,
because
he has got it.
he's literally got it, and
Like,
he opens the door.
If Victor is anything, he is good with a chemical.
Yeah, he's
you know?
making the elixir of life.
And that's like all he's ever wanted to do. So like at least he's good at
Yeah.
something.
Vera's getting on his case about it. She's
She
like,
is.
I don't want, if you go ahead, they're gonna know we're on to them. And he's like, I covered it up. He literally just put the door back. He like closed the door.
Yeah,
It was funny.
that was kind of silly of him.
Okay, here we go. We're into the ping pong.
It's not the tournament yet though.
Is it?
No.
No. Just kidding. We just have to plan the
So
tournament.
basically, Jerome is like, I'm gonna win this tournament, and it's a doubles ping pong tournament. So he's like, Alfie, my partner in crime, that's gonna be you. Except there's one problem. Alfie is really bad at ping pong.
Yeah, Alfie is horrible at ping pong. There's this like scene of him like trying to hit the ping pong ball into a garbage can, and he misses every single time.
Oh my god, poor Alfie.
You know? And apparently,
someone
someone
is actually really good.
Amber had her. She was brushing her hair.
And she was
And the
using
ball.
the brush as a paddle.
Paddle. She was like
So casual. And like girl was like
Amber-
a
hopscotch champ, and now she's a
And-
ping pong
yeah.
champ.
I think she's got so many layers.
She really does. I like that she always pulls out the like weirdest talents. It's like, yeah, girl, you right.
I love that for her.
Me
And
too.
like Jerome's like asks Amber, hey, will you be my partner? And she's like, no, I quit a long time ago, you know, like this life is not for me. And he's like, but like what if you got to wear a cute outfit? And she's like, well, I'll pick the outfits. And he's like, yes.
And then
so-
they do wear a cute outfit.
And then Alfie becomes the coach.
Alfie, and he's so
And he's-
annoying.
I love it though.
He's like running around blowing the whistle in everybody's face, and Drum's
He's like, oh, 3
"Alfie,
laps.
3 laps, drop it, give me 10.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I think it's cute. I like that he is a thing.
So then Nina and Fabian see Victor with some of the chemicals from the task, and they're suspicious that he's onto them.
Yeah. This is
episode-
the teacher's pet one.
Yeah, this is the teacher's pet with the biscuits. But then the craziest part of this episode is that Eddie convinces Mara to upload the story about Vera to the school website, like the school newspaper.
It's called School News, by the way.
Is that what it is?
Because they couldn't come up with a name.
They couldn't.
Because the school doesn't have a name, so why would their newspaper have a
Yeah,
name?
I know. Oh, I can't. That's the biggest plot hole. It's messed up. We don't even know what school they go to, but whatever.
But we don't see her press enter in this episode.
Yeah, and then it starts.
It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But like I
Yeah.
don't know where Eddie's coming from, like wanting
Why
her
he
to
wants her to
do this. Like, I get that he's like agent of chaos.
He likes trouble.
but like he
What was
doesn't. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. And Mara's obviously very easily persuaded because she has no backbone.
No.
So that starts our next episode.
Yeah.
House of Slander, House of Hasty.
So Mara hits send, and the news goes public. Everyone sees Vera is a liar, and it's this really creepy picture of Vera.
She's really like,
She looks so confused. It's
Oh my God, there's so much creepy stuff with Vera. There's so much that we haven't even gotten to yet. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. And so basically, all these bitches at the school have, like, an alert on their phone for when the school news is, like, so they all, like, get it on their phone, and they're all reading it. And basically, like, everyone is like, oh my God, I can't believe this is true, yada, 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 except, like, the teachers are like, this is not true. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, the teachers that are
influenced by Victor. Yeah. Because Victor's, like,
kind of in love with Vera.
I don't think so.
No, yeah.
I think he likes her that much.
She is.
Yeah.
He's just, like, kind of thinks of her as, like, a partner in crime.
Yeah, so,
but
like,
she's kind of trying to get him.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's really telling, like, Vera comes to him, like, crying, and he's like, okay.
He's like, they're there, Vera.
Okay. Okay.
They're there.
Pat. Like, and she's like, they're slandering my good name, and he's like, that sucks. Like,
he's like literally L. So like, anyway,
let's like not have that happen.
The turnaround in this episode for how quickly they get the trial going for Mara is insane.
Oh yeah, it's immediate.
It's the same episode that she publishes the article and then has to go to like a student trial for it.
The trial's crazy. I can't believe they did this.
It's so intense because when the article got published, all of the like Sabuna, all of the Anubis house residents are like sitting at the breakfast table and they're like, Mara, this is awful. I can't believe you wrote this about Vera. And then as soon as like she gets word that she's like in trouble for it, then they're all like, Mara, we support you. We're with you 100%.
Yeah, they do
so
a
weird
180 on that real fast. Yeah. I would believe her though. I feel like she has some.
I would too.
She has some good evidence.
She's clearly like trying her best.
And like Vera's weird. Like
so weird.
I don't trust Vera. I wouldn't trust Vera from the get-go. Like I don't trust people that are so nice.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's like a little scary. It's like we don't know anything about her. It would make sense. And the only applicant thing is really weird. She's the only person to apply for the job. I don't know. It's very suspicious.
I don't know.
But it comes together very nicely in the end. So I can't wait for you to figure out who the collector is. I'm so
excited. I keep thinking about it because I'm like, oh, I wonder.
Once you watch the episode, text me whenever we get there, which might be soon. I don't remember. So we go to trial. Basically, Vera and Mara are like trying to like prove each other wrong, and
it's not looking good for Mara.
No, it's not.
It's not looking good for Mara. It's looking like I feel like we've been in this situation before with Mara, like being humiliated.
I can't remember. Maybe it was like Mick dating when he gave her anything with Mick ever. Mick just flop. Oh my God, he's such a flop.
Or maybe I'm thinking of the sports tournament. You know the sports quiz that they did?
Oh, the like
I don't know.
In the first
anytime they're in
it was the play and then she took pictures of Mick thinking that he
thank you. I was like, I feel like she's done something like this before.
I forgot that they named that woman Mrs. Robinson. That's so crazy.
I mean, they have Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and Clark. Mrs. Robinson is the old woman preying on Mick. That's crazy. That's really crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah. No,
this show is bizarre.
That's why I was like, oh yeah, she's going to submit this article because she's fucking nuts also.
She is nuts.
She's also a little bit nuts.
Literally nuts, and we don't talk about that enough.
That's so true. So there's this trial, and everything that like Mara brings up as evidence, Vera's like, that's not true. So basically they have this photo. She's like, why weren't you in this photo? You said you worked here, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, well, I started the academic year. Yeah. When was that photo taken? And she's like, May. And she's like, oh, fuck.
Well, fuck. Yeah. So
and then the most crazy thing is she brings in the guy who told Mara that he was like, oh, he's been dead for 20 years. She brings him in and says that he is that guy who was the employer. Yeah. And he's just like old and like forgets things and basically just like gaslights Mara.
Yeah, so Mara gets in major, major trouble.
Yes.
And it's made worse because Eddie decides to pull a prank to like prove
this
to Patricia it's so stupid to prove to Patricia that he's not the teacher's pet, and he like goes through Mr. Sweet's desk and finds like these tapes of him doing like the do-si-do at a rodeo and
like a square dance.
Yeah, and so he connects it to the TV that they're like displaying the PowerPoint of Mara's like evidence. That's the word. And it plays for the whole the whole council and everybody there. And he gets so angry. He's like screaming.
For what?
He's like, I'm tired.
Literally just like dressed up like a cowboy dancing. Like, why is that so embarrassing?
I know. He's like, I'm tired of the students at this school treating me with such disrespect. He freaks out. It's crazy.
I don't Anyway.
And so it like makes him really angry, and then he expels Mara.
Yeah.
For slander.
That was crazy. I was like, I feel like she's gonna get expelled, and then she got expelled.
Yeah.
And that was so crazy.
Yeah. In terms of the task in this episode, the Sabunas end up completing the chemistry task. But it's very anticlimactic when they put all the chemicals in, and they're like, that's kind of weird. Like, why is it literally the door just like, we had to just push it open.
Yeah.
And it opened, so
they're suspicious, because we know Victor actually did it.
Right, okay.
Are we on to the next episode?
Yeah. House of Sorry, House of Hex.
This episode is crazy.
This episode is crazy. This episode is also, like, not one of my faves. So Mara is expelled. Jerome fires Coach Alfie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, this is key, because he's, like, doing stuff and, like, making him, like, do ping pong stuff when actually Jerome cares about Mara.
Yeah, and Mara's
he's
on
like,
trial.
When Mara's, like, expelled, he's like, I need to go, like, be with her. And then Alfie's like, no, we're gonna do ping pong stuff. And he's like, no, you're fired. And, like, that is crazy.
He's so down bad. He doesn't know it yet. So basically, everyone, like, rallies behind Mara, and Eddie even goes to Sweet and is like, it was my fault. I convinced her to do it. Like, if you're gonna punish anyone, punish me. And then all the other Anubis house kids go into Sweet's office, and they're like, you can't expel her, whatever. And he ends up revoking his decision. So
yeah.
she
so
is
she
not
just
expelled.
has to, like, write a letter of apology.
Yeah.
But before that, when Patricia finds out that it was Eddie who, like, peer pressured Mara into publishing the article, she tells him that she wishes he were expelled.
It's like,
which is kind of rude.
it's rude. She's like, I wish you were expelled instead.
And then he's like, I guess I'll leave. No, he literally takes it so literally. He's like, I guess I'll, like, go. Like, I guess I don't need to be here because I have no friends and no one fucking cares about me.
And there's a reason he's acting out. He wants the attention.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Like, I feel for him.
I love Eddie. I'm such an Eddie
love him
stan.
too.
But when all the, like, Sabuna Anubis house kids, when they all get back from school that day, Vera's like, Nina, you have a call.
This is why this episode is crazy.
Yeah.
Can I tell you?
Yeah. So, Nina's gran is in the hospital. She got sick.
Which, like, jump scare.
Jump scare, which
honestly.
comes out of nowhere. My thing with this, though, is, like, how fucking long has Nina's gran been in England?
Know. I was thinking that, too. I was like, I forgot she was in London.
Like, we've had, like, a whole school year happening here. Seasons are changing. So I was a little confused.
I forgot that she was in London. And she's like, she's been traipsing around London, but it was too much for her. And I was like, what?
You this summer traipsing around London.
Yep.
It's too much.
It's too much for me. But
Nina
so she's
goes,
like sick. Like they don't say anything
What happened?
like definitive of like what what
she fell
happened.
sick from.
Like did she fall? Did she like get a cold? Like what's up?
And so, I don't know, she's just an old lady.
Yeah, things are serious.
So Nina goes to visit her gran with Trudy. Does Trudy come?
With Trudy, yeah.
Because Trudy's mother.
She
And
is.
Nina's like, oh, gran, like you, and her gran is all sleepy
And she's like, don't speak.
don't speak.
Okay, so after she gets out of the hospital, Nina is like fuming, and she is like, and Sankara comes to her, and Sankara's like, you better hurry the fuck up, like I'm gonna kill you.
Like you should be working on the task
Yeah,
instead of
like-
visiting the grandmother.
Like whatever, the Raven's gonna do it, like whatever. And Nina's had enough. Nina's had enough. She's had a bad day. And she is like, Sankara, like, fuck you. Like, I don't care about your
I'm done, I
stupid.
quit. Yeah.
And, like, you can do whatever you want, but you can't do shit because you're a ghost. You're not goddamn real. And, like, Sankara is not happy about that.
Yeah.
She is like,
Your punishment will be
to punish. Which I love. I didn't remember this until, like, the punishment started happening, and I was like, oh, holy shit.
She's doing it.
Oh
She's
my
the one.
God.
So basically, Nina, when like whatever Nina says will come true. Like
Yes.
if she's telling people like,
Shut
whatever,
up. Then
shut
they'll
up,
stop
or
talking.
grow up, or you're just a big kid.
Yeah, but that happens in the next episode.
Yeah, whatever. So now Jerome's tournament is on.
So Jerome's tournament starts, and okay, so
Yeah,
wait, then
the hexes are, and this is,
the hexes are in this episode.
this episode's called House of Hex.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
That's just what I said. Everything happens in this episode.
Yeah, it's
the
crazy.
tournament happens, the hexes happen, Gran dies. Like
Grant does not die. But so Nina starts like accidentally like
hexing people.
them.
First, she does Fabian, right? And
And he
what are they? They're like having an argument.
He says,
something.
just forget it.
Oh, they're talking about Joy.
Yeah.
And she's like, just forget it. Just forget everything.
Forget everything.
And then he starts forgetting
everything.
And like, this is my favorite thing. Like,
Dumb Fabian is so frustrating.
With him. No, I'm so obsessed with him. Like, no, later when he forgets Joy, I was screaming.
Oh, that was crazy.
I was screaming. Oh my god.
No, you're right. You're right about that. That's true. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But then Joy finally. Okay, no, that's the next episode. We'll get there.
Okay, so
then Amber.
Oh wait, Alfie.
Alfie.
At breakfast, she tells Alfie, "You're just a big kid," and then he starts acting like a kid.
He starts sucking his thumb.
Yeah.
But then Amber, it's like, Amber, you need to grow up.
Yeah.
And then Amber literally starts aging. And then with Patricia...
I remember old Amber so well. Like, that was when she said that line and then she started graying, I was like, oh, I know what's coming.
Yeah. Patricia, she's like...
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Yeah. And so Patricia can't talk. It's so funny.
Which is really important.
Actually, I love that. Okay, anyway.
The
next episode is good. So we're playing the game, and it's very clear that Jerome and Amber are losing.
Yes. And the other team wins.
Yes. And Nina, I think kind of towards the end of this episode, has a vision of herself as Sin Cara, like cursing all her friends with the hand thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's
it's kind of crazy. It's going POV, and she's like running through the house, and like all her friends are running away from her. She's like, and then she's like, what? Who is what? And then she realizes she's Sin Cara. I kind of liked it.
I liked it too. She looks in the mirror. She eats. The outfit eats.
She's got the smoky eye on, and she's killing it.
She's like, it's so good. It's so good.
Next episode.
House of Silence.
House of Warnings.
Yes. Alfie, being the like kid that he is in this, is like kind of running around goofing off, and the other team's guy is wearing a hat.
Also, he flirted with Amber, and I was like, this guy's not attractive enough for Amber.
No, like nobody is except Jerome.
Jerome
and Amber would be horrible though.
They say that in this episode.
Yes, I love that part. That line is so funny. So Alfie goes and like takes the hat off that guy's head because he's like, oh, look at that hat. Whoa. And a bunch of ping pong balls fall out of the hat. And
so it turns out they were weighted.
And they were cheating.
And they're like, they're going to do a rematch.
Yeah. And
with normal balls.
Jerome and Amber get ready to do the rematch. And Amber's like ready to serve. And then she like, her arm hurts. She's like, I think
she's got like arthritis.
She's got arthritis. So who steps in? Alfie.
Alfie steps in. And even though he's a big kid, he like manages to pull it off. And they win.
Ta-da!
And they win the shield, and it's all great because Poppy comes, and you like remember Poppy exists, and like, and she's like, "It's for Dad," and it's like, okay,
it's a little moment.
Yeah.
After this, the Sabunas discover that Victor has an amulet, his own amulet, the one that was supposed to be in the dollhouse and then didn't work when Patricia lost hers.
So they pieced it all together that like a few episodes back he made a fake one, and. Yeah, and they're just now catching up.
They know he's on to them.
Yes.
And then Mrs. Andrews gets replaced by a new teacher, Miss Valentine.
Okay.
This is crazy.
So Mrs. Andrews says when Mara gets expelled, she's like,
oh, we forgot about that, yeah.
Like, fire me instead, I'll step down or whatever. Don't take it out on Mara, because, like, I am the one that, like, told her to do it.
Right.
And Mr. Sweet's like, no, I'm in love with you, we're not gonna do that. Because I actually am invested in their romance.
Fanfiction. Enemies to lovers. Sorry.
They're not enemies, though.
No, they're like
They're like
academic rivals.
Academic rivals to lovers.
Oh, God. So Mrs. Valentine is replacing Mrs. Andrews.
Okay, and everyone thinks she's, like, really hot. Which, like,
I didn't.
I mean, she's, like, fine.
She's I don't know, she's just a person.
Yeah.
Like, she's just some bitch. But they're playing, like, a name game where you, like, toss a ball and, like, say someone's name. This is so funny. And Fabian, like, he's having memory issues.
Yes.
So he is, like, trying to remember somebody's name, and everyone's pointing to Joy to be like, throw the ball to Joy, throw the ball to Joy. And he calls her Pam. He's like, Pam. It's
Calling
awful.
Joy Pam is the funniest thing to happen.
Where did he come up with that?
Who's Pam?
I don't know. Pam. He's like, Pam. What?
I died. I loved it. I also, the more I thought about it, the more I loved it, because I was thinking about, like, he had, like, in this episode and the episode before, he was having trouble remembering, like, short-term things, like things he just, like, learned, like, the latest task and whatever. And I just love that Joy is so short-term in his memory that he has forgotten her.
It's really silly.
She is so unimportant that she is the first to go. Like,
and
I'm obsessed.
She has a great moment here. I actually really like Joy when she runs out of the classroom and she's crying because she's like, I can't believe you forgot my name. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense.
That's like crazy, like, when you think about it.
That's horrible.
Imagine your like oldest friend just like forgets your name.
That's awful. That's really awful. Oh my god. It's like, it's giving the yellow wallpaper. Like, he didn't name her. That's fucked. She runs out. Patricia runs after her, and she's like, you know what? I'm done. I've made a fool of myself for too long. This crush is officially crushed. And I was like, finally, let's get some real Joy.
So long.
Because when Joy has a personality later in the show.
Does she?
Yeah, especially in season 3. She has this whole, like, identity crisis and is like I need to be my own person, basically.
Oh, nice.
Which is really sick. And she's, like, so much better later on, if I remember correctly. But,
right.
But not before she becomes the devil incarnate. After this,
she's gonna become worse.
Yeah,
she's gonna get worse.
She gets way worse. Way worse. I can't wait.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I literally can't wait. It's so crazy.
How could she get worse?
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway. Oh. Okay. Petty. Let's talk about Petty.
I thought you were gonna talk about the Fabina moment.
Oh, there is a quick Fabina moment before we go. Because Nina's like, Fabian, like, you're just having trouble, like, remembering things, but would you ever forget me? And he's like, I would never forget you. And then she's like, well, who am I? And he's like, you're Nina Martin. You're my best friend. And then they're like making lovey eyes at each other.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
But I'm even more obsessed with Petty. So we have to go there.
No, we do.
So this, like, for the past couple of episodes, Eddie has been trying to get Patricia to admit that she has feelings for him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. This is crazy. This is a good
like,
episode.
I'm not ready.
This is a good
I'm not ready to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. And she just won't do it. She's stubborn and she's, like, scared of telling him that she has feelings. And eventually, when she loses her voice, before all this, we find out that Patricia finds out that Eddie is Mr. Sweet's son. Anyway.
Backing up to last episode, Eddie's really upset and he's packing. He's like, I'm going home. And Mr. Sweet shows up and he's like, no. He's like, you came here for a reason. Like, we want to spend time together. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you want me here? Dad. Dad. And then Patricia walks by. Well, she's just eavesdropping. And she's like, opens the door. And she's like, Mr. Sweet's your dad? No wonder why you're such a bitch.
Pretty much.
And then she gets really, like, this is unfair of her.
I think this is so
I think
unfair.
it doesn't make any sense for her to be so mad that he kept this a secret because he hasn't told anyone and he doesn't want to tell anyone.
Also, they don't even know each other that well.
And, like, exactly, they're not friends.
She's being a little cray for that.
So, like, she has a whole meltdown about it and, like, he just gets really upset about it.
Yeah.
And then in the next episode, when she can't speak, he goes up to her and is, like, having this heart-to-heart. And it's like, I love you. like you're everything to me. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't tell you, but, like, I'm trying. Like, I want you to, like, be my friend and be my girl and, like, whatever. And she doesn't say anything.
Because she lost her voice.
And he gets really upset. He's like, you're giving me the silent treatment. And he comes up to her later. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I won't take this anymore. Like, you're gonna have to talk to me.
This is my last attempt.
Yeah. And then she's like,
and it happens. They finally kiss. Yes. Petty moment.
Yeah.
Petty moment forever and ever. They're the best.
And then Joy interrupts it.
It's really silly.
Yeah. Joy interrupts it, and she's like, didn't you know she's contagious? And then their whole lie is that she has laryngitis. Yeah. And that's why she can't talk.
And then he's like, oh, that's why you aren't responding. And she's like, yes. Yes, it was.
Yes.
Now, once we get to the next task, Alfie plays on one of the horns. So, okay, the next task, this is maybe my least favorite one.
I don't like it either.
I don't like this one.
It is horns.
A bunch of horns, and they have to play the Song of Hathor. Is that revealed in this episode, or is that the next one?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. But basically, they just have to play a certain song to open the door to the next tunnel.
Yeah.
And
if they don't, then they lose their hearing.
Yes, and also the walls, like, crack every time they play a wrong note. There's, like, a little bit of a risk factor to it. But, yeah, that's kind of...
And this episode ends with Alfie blowing into the horn and everything cracking.
Is shaking and cracking. And they run away. Woo! And that's kind of the review of this group of episodes. Favorite moments? Thoughts?
Favorite moments, Petty Kiss.
Petty Kiss, for sure.
Pam. Ping Pong.
Ping Pong.
Yeah. What about you?
Agreed. My favorite moment, I think, is Jerome goes to Amber and he's like, everyone expects us to be like the power couple now. And he's like, should we date? And then they're both like, nah, nah, let's not do that. It's so funny. I just think Jerome is such like a friend. He's just like a friend.
Yeah.
Friend to all, in a way. He's just like that guy.
He's just that guy. Yeah.
I know a bunch of that guys, and it just makes sense. It's just funny. Okay. I feel like it's that guy.
I had a fun-ass time watching these episodes, I gotta be honest. Yeah, I had a really good time.
I quite enjoyed these ones. They're very funny.
Yeah.
But then the next group I'm less fond of.
But we're watching 10 episodes next time.
Yeah, but the next couple, I don't love how they're all falling apart because of the hexes that Nina put on them.
No, that's crazy.
Which is really frustrating to watch.
I'm very excited, though.
Yeah. I can't wait. There's so much coming up that we have to, there's so many questions that are still unanswered. Mm-hmm. Who's the collector? How does Vera, get involved? How are they gonna finish the tasks? It's so fun. I love season 2 of House of Anubis.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So what's your final rating?
Nostalgic, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
It's always going to be until we get to season 3, and then it kind of flops a little bit.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. So, cool. What's up next?
Next up, we're watching Good Luck Charlie, It's Christmas to start our holiday episodes. And then we're going to watch 10 more episodes of House of Anubis. So episodes 26 through 35 are going to be our next House of Anubis episodes.
Yes, correct. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Childhood Trash. You can follow us at Childhood Trash Pod on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow Pia at Pia La Placa.
And you can follow Maggie at Maggie and Keating.
We'll see you next time. Bye.